Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. It's a Saturday morning. It's November. Wow, we're moving right along. And in the studio with me today, Mike Carlin. What's up, Mike?
Mike's here. Mike's excited and
Mike's excited.
ready to
He's
talk
talking
sports.
In third person. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. It's November already. I mean, it just seems like
going fast.
It's going fast, isn't it, Mike?
It is. It's going fast, and you just got to keep watching game to game and knowing what's going on, or it could slip right past you.
So now, Mike, you've been on the radio before. You've had it on another radio station. You used to do a food thing, right?
I used to do a food show. Yes.
Food show.
Yeah.
And I met you through Giuseppe Randazzo.
Yes, at the pizza shop.
The pizza shop. And by the way, Randazzo's kitchen is open.
Yes, it is. Dining room's open, and from the first 2 weeks now, it's really been taking off. I think people are excited to get out.
I got really mad at Joe last week. He told me he's only going to have lobster bisque one day a week.
Yeah.
I can't be. He's got the best lobster bisque in the world. You got to have it every single day. It's got to be there so that when I walk in on any given day, I say, I want some lobster bisque.
I think when he hears it from...
See how selfish Billy is? Have you learned how self-involved Billy is?
I'm learning fast here,
It's
Josh.
the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah. He wants his lobster bisque.
Well, no, it's the best.
It really
Am
is.
I wrong?
You're not.
Yeah. It's the best lobster bisque in the world.
I've told you many times, it's made fresh literally every day.
And Joe Pop gave me he's got new pizzas that he's making.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the pizzas.
He's got a grandpa special. He's got a grandmom special. He's got, yesterday we did a cheesesteak pizza.
Get out.
That was just fabulous. His guy, Sam, who's like the general manager now running around, it was his idea. And every day he's coming out with new slices, not just your regular pepperoni and sausage and stuff like that. But it's
well, listen, they got a great menu. They're great people. The dining room is open. Get down to Randazzo's. And now, like I said, it's November 6th, and last night was like a boring night in sports. I think we had like 2 or 3 games on. We had the Virginia Tech game, which kind of bored me a little bit, to be honest with you. And then we had the Milwaukee Bucks against the Knicks last night.
Against the Knicks. The Knicks actually played a great game.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning that game by close to 15 points. And I think the Knicks are showing they're for real. They want people to talk about.
How about our Philadelphia 76ers minus Ben Simmons are leading the Atlantic Division?
Yeah, the whole conference.
The whole
Eastern
conference.
Yeah, they're 7-2.
Without Ben Simmons.
Without Ben. I think.
And without Tobias Harris. Remember, they're shorthanded because of injuries and COVID protocols.
Right.
Correct.
They played the last 2 games with no Tobias. They played another game without Joel. They played another game now without Korkmaz, who was, for a while, the backup point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bobby said you can't hear me on the radio, Josh. He said you got to turn me up.
Well, Bill, that's because you keep moving the microphone. You're not talking into the microphone.
There's certain players on.
Bobby just texted me, said, "Tell Josh we can't hear you."
Yeah, see what I do? I bring the microphone with me.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be spitting into my mic. But seriously,
that's why I have the mic spray over here, Bill.
You guys, we're 7-2 without Tobias Harris, without Ben Simmons.
Correct.
And you made a good point, Mike, before we went on the air, how like Joel Embiid isn't setting the world on fire, but yet this team is 7-2.
They're 7-2, and the rankings just came out last night. I was watching the NBA tonight, and they had the top 10 guys just so far MVP candidates. Top 10, and he's not one of the top. He's not one of the top 10, and you're leading the Eastern Conference in wins. You take him off that team, did they have a win or 2 without him on it? Without Ben Simmons,
he's not setting the world on fire. I mean, they're playing like a team. I saw the post game press conference with Curry, and I liked what he said. He goes, "We still have players.
Right?
This is a team.
There's
no I in team. Mike.
I think there's no doubt, and this Ben Simmons thing has a big thing to do with it. I think the team is showing management.
We don't need.
We don't need Ben.
We don't
need Ben. We don't want Ben. Do what you have to do to get whoever you can for him. But we're okay right here.
And and it's a shame that he's using this. He's using mental health as an excuse because I don't really. Once again, if you label somebody, you keep label somebody something that's not true. Then when it is true, it's like the boy that cried wolf.
Right.
Right.
We're hearing this now for the first time. We didn't hear this all summer when he wasn't around. Now we're hearing that it's a mental health. And you look what came out with Land Johnson for the Eagles, and he has 1-on-1, and really showed his heart of what he's going through.
Right.
I don't want to say Ben Simmons isn't going through this,
I don't.
but I'm just not
He's
so.
not showing up.
I'm not so sure.
Like
that
he's
that's
not
what it
showing
is.
up. Then
Mike brought up a great point. What Lane Johnson did was he had a problem. He
don't.
went to his boss and said,
Correct.
I have a problem. I need to deal with it. He goes away. He keeps his boss updated. I'm working through this. I'm going to let you know what's going on.
I read an article where he
talked to
drove to Oklahoma and he didn't talk to the team. He was removed from the team and didn't keep the team. That's what I read, Josh.
That's not 100% true because he came out and explained, and so did Jason Kelsey, that he kept in touch with his teammates and the
They
organization.
knew what was going on.
No, they
through
knew
the
what was
process.
going on, but he drove to Oklahoma.
Yes,
and
he drove to
lost
Oklahoma.
contact with all the team.
Well, yeah, but he told them he was going
Right.
to do that.
And I
okay?
think that's part of the mental illness.
Right.
He went into his own little cocoon. He
Right.
needed to get
But
away.
the point
Get
is,
away.
he told everyone what's going on.
Right.
He communicated to
right.
people, I have a problem.
Well,
I am dealing with something. Ben Simmons is acting like a child. He will not talk to his boss
Not
and
only
tell
that, he's
him
not
what is going-
participating.
Daryl Morey literally went to him 3 days ago and said, hey, Ben, how you doing? How's it going?
What can we do for you?
Right.
How can we help you?
And Ben's like, I don't
I
want
don't
to
want
talk
any
about
help.
it.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's not even participating
Right.
in his film session, or he's not going into the
One-on-one
Right.
training, anything. And the Sixers have medical people to help him. He doesn't want anything to help it. He's saying, I want my own help.
So you know what? I said this earlier a couple weeks ago. I want to pound the flesh. I want to make him. I think we should make his life as difficult as possible. Cut his money off because
Which they did.
To me, he only cares about himself. It's obvious. It's all about him. And like we just said, the team. Look at the team. 7-2. The team. There's no I in team, Mike.
No. You know what? And how much money he lost on Thursday night?
$360,000, right?
You got it.
But $360,000. That's not even a dent to what he makes.
It's not, but it will add up.
Eventually,
If we're still talking about this come December, then you're talking about some serious
I don't
money.
know why they let him come back. Why did they even let him come back?
Well, they let him come back because they thought he was showing good faith.
Yeah.
They thought because he showed up to going through the
This guy's been
protocols.
fooling him for a long
to
time,
start
hasn't he?
Well, that's part of it. But part of it is also they've given him everything they can. They've bent over backwards for him. They've done everything they could possibly do and more. And it's still not good enough because at the end of the day, if you watch that documentary when he was at LSU, that was on HBO, you saw that he comes from a world where everything's been handed to him.
Catered.
He's never had to earn anything. And unlike Giannis at Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, who came from dirt poverty, who had to earn everything he has, Ben doesn't have the want to be great. He just wants what comes with the fame.
Right.
You know, and guess what? When you date a reality star and now you think you're the center of the universe, this is what happens.
All right, we're streaming live on Twitter today and YouTube, right, Josh? We're Twitter and YouTube.
Twitter and YouTube, Billy.
Twitter and YouTube
You
today.
got
Check us out. You see Mike. You see, well, how come your face isn't up there, Josh?
Because I'm not the star of the show. You
That's
guys
right,
are.
you're not, but you still put your face up in there so you can see. I got the computer blocking me. I can't see your face. We have Mike Carlin in here today.
There you have
We got the Sixers are 7-2. Hey, look, the Braves win the World Series. Like, did you think the Braves in July were going to win the World Series?
I don't think
Anybody?
I don't think anybody did, but them.
No,
But them. Their management. Their management thought so.
Well, they went out. Look, they lost Acuna and Ozuna, right? And they get four guys that they bring that they acquire.
Journeyman.
Who but you look at Austin Riley, look at Dansby Swanson, Albies, their infield's solid. But you gotta have pitching, and I didn't think they had pitching. I mean, Charlie Morton and Friel, yeah, but I mean they were setting the world on fire.
What it showed to me is that two things. A, you don't have to spend $200 million to be a good team anymore. And B, you don't have to win over 100 games. Everybody used to be, you got to get to 100, got to get to 100. Getting to 100, they just showed that you don't have to get to 100 wins. Okay, you got to get hot. Come August, you got to be playing baseball with the right people on the field and being hot, and then carried it into September and moving on.
And I know the Phillies just hired Mattingly's son to be the player development, right?
Mm-hmm.
Development personnel. And who knows? I mean, he's a baseball lifer. I mean, he grew up in baseball. He loves the game. Maybe he's a good eye for talent.
I think it all comes down to which every Philly fan knows. It's our relief pitching.
Relief pitching.
Okay, we have to get this. That's That's on the forefront
32
moving
saves they
forward.
blew.
You've got to get a relief pitcher.
All right, so as always, we have a great show lined up today. We're at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk to Dave Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere. And then in the second hour, we're going to talk with former Eagles linebacker and the newest member of the Rowan University Football Hall of Fame, John Bunting's going to check in.
John Bunting's going to be here. Yeah.
And you know, I'd like to ask him, because the Eagles, look, they got rid of Wilson this week. Right, their linebackers have been god-awful, and they're shaking it up. Let's get John's opinion on linebacker play.
I think he'll give us a good little insight of what's going on with the Eagles.
Starting today, the hotline is the Maserati of the Mainline. Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline is now our hotline officially. And I want to remind people, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Hey, My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming, and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on your house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or shoot Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's Tyrese Maxey on the drive, underhand scoop, he got it.
The Sixers are in Chicago to face the Bulls.
Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical. They're number one.
What's the payments on this new car? Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to Matt Black Kia, where I can get some straight talk.
Put zero money down. Pay zero interest for 60 months. At Matt Black Kia, we're talking real turkey. Bring us any trade, no matter if it's roasted or overdone. Stuck in a loan or lease? Matt Black Kia can get you released. We want to approve you today. Choose from the largest selection of certified pre-owned Kias at mattblackkia.com and drive away in a new Kia with zero down and zero interest for 60 months on every 2022 Kia Stinger, or make no payments until next year.
It's gotta be a Matt Black Kia.
Offers with approved Tier 1 or 2 credit through E Motors Finance. Not all will qualify. 0% based on 1667 for 1,000 borrowed. Negative equity financing for new loan. Excludes taxes, title, license. Offers no combined. Call 877-289-6670 or go to mattblackkia.com for complete details. Expires 12/3/2021. Matt Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. And now on Route 37 in Toms River.
Prop Swap is
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. You know, college football, I mean, Mike, you got college football, but there's no really big games. And like Josh knows me, I'm a hype guy. I like to watch these. Like, I don't have a horse in the race. And I went to Rutgers at Cam. They didn't have a football team, but like I like to bet on games that I watch, or that I'm going to watch. They're on TV that I can see. But if you look at the top 10 or the top 20, there's anybody playing anybody.
There's no two top 10 teams playing each other, correct?
Right.
You have a couple top 10 teams that are playing teams on the outside that could give them trouble. Like,
right.
If you're someone like Wake Forest, you're on upset alert because you're going to North Carolina.
Right.
And North Carolina, 4-4. You're playing a team that's 8-0, but you're giving the other team 2.5 points. There's a reason. That's going to be a tough game for Wake Forest.
Now, we're going to have the Sportsbook Consigliere on here at the bottom of the hour, and he's going to give us some picks. And I'm like I like the Michigan State-Purdue game. That's a game that you got to watch out for.
Love it. Michigan State's got to win, and they got to win with style points.
Right.
So that's one of my picks.
And how about Texas A&M Auburn? That's a pretty tough game.
That's a tough game.
I mean, that's a game right there.
That you have Oregon playing Washington, and Oregon.
Rivalry game.
Yeah, rivalry game. And Oregon wants to stay up there in the rankings. They want to be part of the committee play. That's a -7. That's going to be a good game.
And you know what I'm looking at? Just a couple years ago, LSU wins the national championship. Now they're 29-point underdogs than Alabama tonight.
And if I'm LSU, I want to go down because Alabama remembers what they did to them 2 years ago.
Right.
At Alabama.
Right.
And now Nick Saban knows that their coaches. This is his last time. This is his last time coming, and they may do a job on them. That could be like a 41-10 score, easy.
So I love college football. What's the biggest college football game you've ever attended, Mike?
Penn State.
Penn State?
Yeah. Going to a Penn State Whiteout.
Have you ever been to any bowl games, Mike?
I have. I've seen Penn State down the Citrus Bowl down in Florida.
All right. I was at the Penn State game when the Fiesta Bowl when they beat Miami.
Okay.
I was there in 1987.
Yeah. I watched that game.
I was on the sidelines for that game.
Oh, that's nice.
That was with the Betson, with Chuck Betson.
It's a totally different aspect. When you're on the sidelines for
it's unbelievable.
Anything, it's a whole different game. The speed of the game is just unbelievable.
Of course, Army Navy games. I've been to Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. I'm not Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. So those games are just the pageantry and the Army Navy game. It's just college football has got a different dimension to it.
I'm a college football nut.
I like that.
I would pick that over a pro game 7 days a week. It doesn't matter. And there's certain stadiums I still have to get to, a bucket list.
Yeah, there's definitely. I've never been to the Big House. I haven't been to the Horseshoe.
I've been to the Big House. I've seen Penn State.
Oh, have you? You've been to that? Yeah.
I'm good friends with like Franco and Lido, and I get tickets through them. So
we got to get them on the show then.
Yeah, we got to get them on the show. We can do that.
So, but I love as we get closer now, people jockeying for positions. Cincinnati, is Cincinnati worthy of being the number 2 team in the nation?
They were when I watched them play Notre Dame the whole game at Notre Dame. Because certain things happen at Notre Dame that I don't know how it happens. Notre Dame could be going into the fourth quarter, losing by 17 points, and somehow they pull it off.
And Notre Dame still ranked number 8 after losing to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Well, again, you're looking at the coaches and the AP polls, but those have no consequence on the actual college football playoff. That's part of the problem of this conversation.
Right.
You can It's like a lot of stats. You can go find a stat to support your argument, but that stat might not matter in the grand scheme of things. At the end of the day, winning and losing is important. And some jerk is calling Billy while he's on doing his show on the radio.
Actually, it was spam.
Turn it off.
Spam.
Well, there's still a jerk.
I forgot to turn my phone off, Josh.
By the way, Mike, there have been people in the past who know Billy, who have called Billy.
Oh, they
during
call
the
me
show.
while I'm on the show.
While he's in the
They know
middle of
you're
the
doing
show.
this.
And they know I'm on the
And
show.
they know he's on the air.
Like they think I'm going to answer it. I guess I don't know. Mike, I want to get your opinion on Aaron Rodgers. He's making a lot of noise, a lot of news. People are mad at him, and he just didn't want to get a shot. I mean,
Do you think he could have done it differently though?
Well,
than what,
look,
it's almost like he was trying to trick people.
it
The
wasn't
way-
because if you know that he admitted he was getting tested, so that's an indication that you're not vaccinated. He doesn't come out. Should anybody be privy to your medical information? No, it's none of anybody's business.
But the problem is that when you have in a union, which the NFLPA is, and you agree to certain terms and conditions,
Right, he agreed to get tested. He didn't want the shot, so he agreed to get, and that was common
but
knowledge.
he is also a union rep, so he
Right.
should be fully aware of what the rules are.
Absolutely.
So
And
you think he thinks he's bigger than the rules?
That's my point.
That's your
Yeah.
problem with
the
him.
problem with
Yeah. I
Rodgers
think he
is
got
not
caught.
what he did.
That's
it's
the
not-
lie. It's the
it-
lie.
It's the fact that he went about it a certain way. Because when he was asked, for example, and guys know me, I used to be a Carson Wentz guy. I became a Carson Wentz hater. But I got to back Carson Wentz on this right now. When he was asked, "Are you vaccinated?" he said no.
No.
They asked him why. He answered the question. Now, his answer to the question was way wacky compared to Rodgers' answer. Rodgers' answer made a lot more sense.
But it was
But
his
Wentz
answer.
answered
Right,
the
yeah.
question.
It's his answer.
When Rodgers was asked the question in August, he says, "I've been immunized." Now, immunized is not vaccinated. So,
Well, what's the difference between immunized and vaccinated?
there's actually a medical definition. This
That's
is not
over
a
my
medical
head.
show.
Right, it's
okay?
It's over my head.
That's
But
over our
the
pay
point is
grade.
that they are medically different terms, and Rodgers purposely used that term so no one could say he was lying. Because he explained on the Pat McAfee show, the reason why he didn't get the shot because he has an allergic issue
Right.
with what is in the shot.
Like my brother has a sort of medical condition. I forget the name of it, but he doesn't want to get it. My brother's a pilot, and I think they're going to mandate their workforce to get immunized, and he's going to have to get an exception. Or
And
exemption
that's
or
the
whatever.
thing. Rodgers could have gotten an exception. He just
Right.
didn't apply for one. But I think part of it was because Rodgers didn't want to be bothered. Rodgers wants to go out and play football, and I
Rodgers
can't
is
blame the
bigger
guy
than
for
that.
that.
Yeah. I think Rodgers.
Right.
I think Rodgers got caught.
And a sad story last week. How about the Ruggs situation, man? 150 miles. What the heck's he going 150 miles an hour for?
Can
Like,
we
is that
talk
unbelievable?
about the real guy, the stand-up guy, and all that though, real quick?
What's that?
Can we talk about the one stand-up guy and all of that though?
Yeah, who?
Is Derek Carr.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Derek
This
Carr.
is a tragedy. His life is ruined.
The
He
guy's
killed
life
somebody.
is ruined, and Derek Carr gets up on the press conference and says, "I wish there was something I could have done for this guy."
Right.
He said, "I wish there was something I could have helped him with to prevent this from happening." Like, not a lot of people talk like that. Like, can we give Derek Carr credit for being a real man?
And
Not-
leaders do that, Josh.
Not
Leaders do
just that, Josh. You made an unbelievable point, but he went on to say some people make a mistake and then they're vanished for the next years. You never.
Right.
Derek Carr made it very clear. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to be there for
Before
him
down the road.
today,
And
down the road,
Right.
a year from now. Like, I'm not going anywhere. He's going to need help, and
But-
he knows he can rely on me.
I get
That was
that.
big.
I get that. But 4:20 in the morning, going 150 miles an hour. Listen, I remember growing up. The drinking age was 18 when I was 18. I'll never forget
Me
my
too.
brother Bobby and I being in situations in cars where guys were going, and my brother Bobby would go, slow down. Because you know what I mean? We felt like there was something bad could happen.
Not
These
just
guys
that.
are just oblivious, I
I'm
guess.
really lucky to know guys in the NBA and the NFL. And when you talk to them about it, there's no reason for him ever to get into a car that late at night with drinks.
Right?
All you have to do is make a phone call. You
Make
don't
a
have to
phone
get an Uber.
call.
You make a phone call. They have security.
Not only
every
that,
team
he's got
be
enough
there
money. Could he get
They'll
a
come and get you immediately and take you wherever you want to go.
and they'll have somebody
There
drive your car home for you.
Yeah, there's no excuse for it. And I think he's going to, unfortunately, for the kind of person he is, if you know what kind of person he is, about how the money goes back to his family and all that.
Right.
And he lost his best friend when he was 16 years old in a car crash. Every time he scores, he's looking up. I mean, he sounds like he's a good kid, but you made a huge mistake,
A
and now
big
you're going to pay
mistake.
for it.
Big
and I think
mistake.
the NFL is really going to crack down on it, and I think the judges
absolutely.
are going to crack down on it.
Who was the player, the ex-Eagle, that killed somebody in Miami?
The wide receiver.
The wide
It was
receiver.
Dante Stallworth.
Yeah.
Dante Stallworth was drinking and driving, killed somebody. He went to
time.
jail for 30
Yeah.
days, but he got
30
suspended
days.
by the NFL for an
Right.
entire year.
Yeah, but 30 days in jail for that? I mean, you killed somebody.
Well, that's why the NFL had to step in and suspend
Yeah.
the guy for an entire year.
Well, this is the land of second and third chances, but
Land of confusion? What?
land of second and third chances is what I said.
Sorry, I thought of a song there. For a minute.
but you know what I mean? It's such a sad situation.
And,
All right, let's
and he's 22.
real quick. Now let's turn it to we're gonna be talking to the Sportsbook Consigliere here in a few minutes. But I just want to make a note. The Rams got Von Miller. The Eagles have all kind of problems with linebackers. We have a lot of draft capital. Why couldn't the Eagles get Von Miller? They just lost Wilson.
Well, first of all, Von Miller's not technically a linebacker. He's a pass rusher.
All right.
Yeah.
He's an edge rusher.
But
And I
our
don't think-
defense is poorest.
I think sometimes they go by names. I think Von Miller is a really good
So
ball
he is
player.
the downside of his career.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Right.
And he's going to a team that's on the
Right. That
on
needs
the
him
upper
right
level.
now.
Yeah, they need him now. The Eagles, we don't need him
No.
right now.
All right. Well, we need linebackers. And we're going to talk to a linebacker in the second hour, John Bunting.
Excited.
All right.
Big John.
First hour of the locker room is powered by the Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information about Surety Title, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. I talked to Michael Pileggi today from Maserati, the main line. They're having their Lamborghini road rally today. So they're going to be heading up to, I think, Allentown or somewhere. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with the Sportsbook Consigliere Dave Sharapan. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Listen this Saturday to Notre Dame football on 97.3 ESPN.
Hi, Notre Dame fans. This is Paul Burmeister. Join me, Super Bowl 50 champion Ryan Harris, and host Tony Simeone this Saturday as the Irish host Navy at Notre Dame Stadium. Our coverage begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern in the 94th meeting between these two legendary rivals. Tune in right here on your home for Notre Dame football.
It's Notre Dame football on 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
Randazzo's Pizza. Randazzo's Pizza. Rendezvous Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Rendezvous Pizza, there's one right nearby. Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
We're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. And now it's time for my favorite segment every Saturday. But this week I don't get to see him on the streamline because he's on the road. So let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room the Sportsbook Consigliere himself, Dave Sharapan. What's up, Dave?
Billy, what's up? Last week you were on the road. I was always on the road because I'm in Vegas, but I was at home. And now you're in studio, which means minimal difficulties other than for Josh and the boys who got to make sure that you sound okay and everything like that. But I'm on the road. I'm in St. George, Utah. We got coaching the kids. We got a big day of softball ahead of us today. We're in the winner's bracket. We got to get 4 in to get to the ship. If we lose, we can play as many as 8 softball games today
to
get to the finals. So,
8
softball
games.
Yeah, we got a long road to go. But it's good because every game before the game, they're like, Coach Dave, what do you think? And I said, we got to get 6. 6.5 the over-under. So we got to go over 6 and we're good. That's how we do it. When we're Vegas for odd makers and teams, that's what we do.
And by the way, Dave, that's why you're my sportsbook consig, because you even picked the golf outing right. You hit the nail right on the head there.
Oh, how did that work out?
Pete
Billy?
beat me, crushed me.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you could kind of feel that one coming. No, I mean, we knew it was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but I was on. I had an injury. I was dealing with it. I was playing hurt, Dave.
You always, I mean, like Billy, just accept the loss. Forget about playing hurt. You got to get on the range. You got to put in the work. Like, seriously, now you're playing hurt? I mean, come on. Next time I'm coming. I'm coming next time.
All right, you got to be there. All right, Dave, in the studio with me today, filling in for Scotty Mckay, is Mike Carlin. Mike sits with me today. He's a big college football guy, but we got you every Saturday for your 6-pack of picks. And I want to start off with a college game that I was looking at first and foremost. For me, was the Texas A&M Auburn game.
Oh, man. Billy, this is probably the best game of the week as far as like rankings go. You know, it's one of those weeks where there's a lot of good teams playing bad teams, or, you know, teams kind of still trying to just play out the string. Well, this one's playing for the spot, you know, next in the SEC. Auburn's so good at home. Seems like too many points to me. but I'm telling you, it feels like this might be the favorite play. I like Texas A&M in the game.
All right, there it is. The Aggies. Go ahead, Mike. You got one?
Yeah, I'm looking at actually two games. I love the over on the Liberty versus Ole Miss, and I'm looking at Baylor -7 at TCU.
Okay, so I'll address the second one first. Baylor minus the points. TCU's going bad. And part of the game when you do this stuff is, as much as you got to ride good teams, you got to identify bad teams and go against them. And I think TCU season's going south. I think you're getting a gift if you can get 7 or less. I think you lay Baylor. As far as that total,
58.
I don't know.
It scares you? It's actually up to 67 now.
Is there 67?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's going to be high scoring.
I mean, obviously, if Ole Miss is involved, it's high scoring. I mean, that's what they do.
Yep.
Liberty kind of does the same thing. At first blush, this is a game that I haven't even thought about, looked at, because it involved Liberty. But I think you got to play over. I don't want to be holding a ticket on that thing under and have this, going over late in the third quarter. I mean, there may be 80 points scored in the game.
That's why I like the over. Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes don't be afraid of those high numbers, Billy. I know, you were afraid of the high number on the golf course. Yeah. Like justifiably so. But don't be afraid of the high number of the Ole Miss Liberty game.
All right, we're going to throw an extra one in here because I'm kind of interested in that Michigan State Purdue game.
Me too.
That's something we were looking at.
Well, this is a classic, okay? Michigan State continues to defy the odds, defy odds makers. People keep betting them. They keep winning and covering. So now they come off a monster game. I mean, that was an enormous win against Michigan. And they're only laying a short number like this against Purdue. It looks too easy. It is too easy. But sometimes too easy gets there. I don't think Purdue stops Michigan State. I really don't. And personally, I want to see this run continue until Penn State beats them, because that's what the Big Ten does. They can't enjoy success. So somebody's going to beat Michigan State. It could be Purdue today, but I ain't picking it. I would pick Michigan State in the game. That's a stay away. That screams to stay away from me.
All right, let's jump over to the pros because, with the Aaron Rodgers situation, he's not going to be playing, and they're heading to Kansas City. They take on the Chiefs. Mahomes hasn't been playing well. It looks like the spread's it's 7.5 right now.
So, odds makers, books, you have to these ones are hard because you got to adjust the number to where you get a bet on the dog, okay? And as soon as the Rodgers news came out, it went from Packers -1, which you got bet to, from KC -2.5, all the way to KC 7.5, sometimes even 8 on some books, and it now sitting at 7.5. I think anything over a touchdown is a gift here, even with Jordan Love. My buddy who I do the podcast with, Carl Haskell, said he's taking the Packers against the Chiefs even if Courtney Love is playing for them. I don't know if I would go that far. But Kansas City defense is bad. Last in the league. They give up too many points. And Mahomes throws a pick every game. He leads the NFL in picks. It's not a team I want laying points, even against a backup quarterback. Green Bay keeps it close. Take the points.
All right, another game that intrigues me today is the Cardinals against the 49ers. Right now, we're looking at a 2-point spread. That's what I have in today's paper. That could have moved a little bit. The 49ers are a disappointing 3-4, and of course, the Arizona Cardinals are 7-1. What do you think about that game, Dave?
So again, this is another one that you kind of look at when you sit at the counter. For years and years and years, I watch people come up to the counter and go, "Wow, Arizona 7-1. They're less than a field goal. This is too easy. I mean, just give me Arizona." And you sit there and you go, "Oh boy." Now I've fallen for this San Francisco act before. I've taken San Francisco at home against Green Bay. They didn't cover. I've taken San Francisco at home against the Colts. They didn't cover. Now I'm going to do it again, and I'm getting points. No, you fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Whatever that saying is, I'm not falling for it, Billy. I'm not falling for the third strike. I'm taking Arizona.
All right.
And if they get me, they get me. That's fine. but there ain't no way you can trick me into taking Arizona or taking the Niners against Arizona in that spot. I want the Cardinals off a loss to Green Bay. The way they lost, give me that team.
We can't let you go without talking about our local team, the Eagles, with LA coming into town.
Yeah, that's funny because the Chargers lost their last. They've lost their last 2 games, and here's a team that Herbert is like playing great,
and the line's only -1.
Right.
So tell us something that you see on that game.
I mean, listen, like I've been back and forth. Me and Billy been doing this all season. My partner on my podcast is from Philly. He's a season ticket holder. Dan Alexander, he goes to the games. He's going Sunday. We've been messing around. I bet on the Eagles in Vegas. Total disaster. Go back. They're favored at Detroit. Public dog of the week is the Lions. The Eagles have the best game in years. Sirianni is now, secured spot. Here we go. They're getting points at home. It makes no sense. But every bag guy, these guys that come and bring bags of money, I call them the rhombuses and the parallelograms. They're all the sharpest bettors in the world. They all bet the Eagles every single week. Every week. Man, and then when they win, they brag. When they lose, they pretend like, it was somebody else's fault. Kind of like Billy just said, he's playing injured. So instead of being with them this week, I'll be with the public. I'm taking the Chargers against the Eagles. I've tried, Billy. I've tried.
Come on, man. Come on, Dave.
You got to go with the better team. I think the better team is Chargers.
The better team is the Chargers, but sometimes the better team doesn't win, and the Chargers haven't been doing that. If the Eagles win or break even with the turnover battle, they're winning this game. I'm telling you right now. But if they don't, if they were -1 or worse in the turnover battle, it's over. Chargers could blow them out. I don't think the Eagles are going to blow the Chargers out, but the Chargers could blow the Eagles out.
Yeah.
All right, Dave Sharapan, my Sportsbook Consigliere. Now, I miss having you on the live stream because we can usually see what kind of colors you're wearing, who you're supporting. But having you on the phone's not as bad.
You could, Billy. I'm going to put a video on Twitter, and I'll reference you. I'll be in uniform for the kids. I can pull off the uniform still. I'm 51. I got the hat on, the sunglasses, and the nice jersey. We're ready to go, Billy. We got softball today, bro.
All right, Dave. We can follow the Sportsbook Consigliere on Twitter at SportsBKConsig. At SportsBKConsig. Dave Sharapan at Sportsbook Consigliere every Saturday right here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. See you next week, Dave.
See you, Billy. Go Penn State.
We are.
There he is. There's Dave Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere on the Maserati, the main line sports hotline. Want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is there for you. They have 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conkton at 856-988-8900. Friends, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. Of course, they had their big gala, I think, Thursday night, and that went really well. Ken Dunnick and the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, one of the great publications in our area. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up the first hour of the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. It's week 9 of the 2021 season with the Eagles hosting the LA Chargers at the Link.
Pushes, shoves, into the end zone, Boston Scott.
Pre-game coverage begins tomorrow at 3 p.m. Maryland Mike call all the action starting at 4:05. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
It's time to feel good about getting health coverage. With brand new savings, Get Covered New Jersey is helping more New Jerseyans get quality coverage they can afford. Due to new federal and state savings, 9 out of 10 people who enroll get financial help. Many pay $10 a month or less for quality plans that include coverage for preventive services, care for pre-existing conditions, prescriptions, and more. Get the coverage you need to be healthy and stay healthy. Open enrollment is happening now. Get started at getcovered.nj.gov.
Do I need to do that?
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. Mike Carlin's in the studio here with me. Of course, Josh Henning pushing all the buttons. And Josh, I know, Mike's not a big hockey guy, but we gotta talk a little bit about Flyers. We're gonna spend the second half of the show talking about the Eagles, but I just want to bring up the Flyers. Of course, they got the Capitals tonight at 7:05. But Josh, did you see the move that Travis Konechny made the other night?
Of course I did. That's my
Was
guy.
that
right there.
unbelievable or what?
That's my guy. You know me.
I remember when he first came up and I played some tape of him in the minor leagues. You remember that, Josh?
I do.
And I told you how crafty this kid was and that I liked his spirit and his heart.
Y'all said he was too small.
I did, because he was starting to play small. But that was a big time move the other night.
I love Konechny. I love his tenacity. I love the fact that he kind of reminds me of two different players. He's got a little Theo Fleury in him. Remember him back in the 90s?
Well, I was going to compare him to a former Flyer. I'm going to compare him to Kenny Linsman. How about that one?
I was going to compare him to Mark Recchi.
Because Mark Recchi wasn't as feisty. Would you say Mark Recchi was feisty?
Well, Recchi was a little feisty. That's something. If you merge Theo Fleury with Mark Recchi,
okay.
I feel like
then
that's
you got
kind
Travis
of like
McKinnon.
Yeah, you get the feisty, you get the crafty. The people forget one of the things that made Recchi was he was so good at manipulating the puck with his stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was so good at
fast
doing things with the puck that the goalie didn't see coming, and then he would score on him, or he'd pass it, and the other guy would get the score. Like when he was on the Flyers, some of those passes that he snapped over to guys like Leclerc for those one-timers or those snapshots, they were just amazing.
When I look at scoring, okay, when you see the last couple of years, you'd see Claude Giroux down the list. You'd see Travis Konechny down the list, Van Riemsdyk down the list. But guess what? You just take a glance at the stats, and you see Claude Giroux and Sean Couturier, 1 and 2 in scoring, and Claude Giroux, who I've been very critical of. I've been very critical,
and you should be critical of.
But guess what? Not this year, because even though he's a -1, he's got 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. And Couturier's 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points, and he's a +2. But then you got Konechny, Cam Atkinson, and Joel Farabee, the people that should be leading and scoring, Mike. Right? When you look at a Sixers stat sheet and you see the top 3 players are the top 3 players, and you see it's consistent.
And they're doing their job.
They're doing their job.
They're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
right. So when you look at the Phillies batting, when you look at the stats, and you open up the newspaper, like, because I'm an old guy, I don't know. Do you still get a newspaper?
Daily News.
Okay,
I get Daily News
I
Direct.
do too.
Yeah.
Of course, my colleagues here at ESPN, Josh Henning, Mike Gill, Pete Thompson, they all call me a dinosaur.
Yeah, computer.
Well, it's
okay.
because what Billy does is he has a comment like the Sharapan earlier, where he says, "Well, David, the paper says, but I don't know if it's changed since then."
Well, I've got my.
I mean, Billy's got two computers over there. He couldn't leave one tab open for just a sports book.
But when you look
that's why we bust on Billy.
All right, but when you look at the baseball, like when you open up the stats for the baseball every day, when you were a kid, didn't you go to rush to the newspaper to see the stats, right?
I wanted to see who's stealing bases. I
Who's-
want to see
right?
who home runs, who's throwing, close to no hitters,
Right.
all that kind of stuff.
Well,
No matter what it was.
But when you open up the Philly stats and you see that your top five or six players are leading in hitting and fielding and all that stuff, they're doing their job.
Yeah.
And if they're doing their job, chances are you're gonna be 7-2.
It's gonna be a good record. Yeah.
Like the Sixers.
Like the Sixers playing as a team.
And even though the Flyers are 5-3-1, they salvaged the point from Pittsburgh the other night. They were down 2-1, and they get a late goal. That
you come out with something.
They come out with a point.
Yeah.
Billy, I know that you have to be very happy that Cam Atkinson is already paying dividends from
Absolutely.
that Voracek
6
trade.
goals.
He's got
in
6
one-
goals already.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's got Mike, he provides. Look, all teams need it. Like, look at the Sixers, minus Ben Simmons, and they're getting production from everybody, not just one. Like you just stated, like Joel Embiid's not setting the world on fire, but he's probably the MVP of the league, or this team anyway.
Yeah, definitely this team. You take him off the Sixers.
You take him off the Sixers, they're not 7-2.
No.
So same thing. Like when I brought my daughter to a Flyers, her first Flyers game a couple weeks back, bought her a Claude. I'm not a big fan of Claude Giroux, but this year I am. I'm a fair guy. If you start playing the way you're supposed to play, I'm going to cheer for you. But I bought her a Claude Giroux jersey for she's only 6.
Yeah.
He scored the goal, first goal of the game. He had a great game.
Get that sign. Get that jersey signed by.
But you know what? You like to see a team play with tenacity, right?
Absolutely.
Basketball and hockey, you got to have chemistry.
You got to play as a team. If you don't play as a team, you can have the best players, but they're all separate. You're not going anywhere.
So that's what getting back to the sister thing is pretty cool to see that this team is 7-2 without Ben Simmons, that spoiled, rotten little baby.
The message that the players are sending management. The message is we're fine how we are. You do what you have to do what you got to do with Ben and get whoever you can. But we're playing as a team now.
We're playing as a team now.
We're all close as a team. They're traveling as
By the way,
it's still early.
Drummond's playing well.
Drummond's playing.
Is he playing well or what?
Drummond's not just playing well, but you
Huge
can tell
difference
he's
between him
having
and
fun.
Howard.
He's having
Yeah.
fun.
Right. Yeah.
And that's all you like to see.
Drummond is the most relaxed I've ever seen Andre Drummond play.
I'm excited about both the Flyers and the Sixers.
I think the Sixers are very excitable.
To me, the story is so much better that they're playing this way without Ben Simmons. And you know what I mean?
Me too.
It just makes it.
If I come off like a Ben, not a fan, I'm not a fan.
Right.
So I can put right out there.
Hour 1 is in the books. Coming up, we're going to talk a lot of Eagles football. I got a lot of notes. I took a lot of notes, Mike. See, look, Mike, I
Me
wrote
too.
a lot of notes.
Yeah.
I got my stats like Johnson could break my stones about my stats. I got my cutouts. So I'm ready to go for it. I'm going to
Good.
3-point stand.
Listen,
I'm ready for the Chargers.
I like the notes. I just don't like the dependency on the newspaper.
Josh will like my notes.
Josh, he's got notes too. All right. Hour 1 of the books. Hour 2, we're going to talk with former Eagle John Bunting. All right. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number 1.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Get ready for Eagles football tomorrow, man. We got the Chargers in town. We got Mike Carlin in the studio, Josh Henning pushing all the buttons. And we're going to get into our Eagles conversation.
Let's go.
Let's go, man. I mean,
go.
We're 3-5, Mike.
We're right there.
Right?
We could be right there. We just take one game at a time.
Dave Sharapan said he's not going to take the Eagles, but he wouldn't be so shocked if they won this game.
Correct.
It's a 1.5 point spread right now.
Someone knows something.
So, I mean, that's a crazy number. Your home dog, right? So usually the road team gets what? 3 points standard?
3 points.
3 points. The road team's getting the 3. So it's a 1 point. It's weird. It's a weird line.
Well, remember what
1 point
Dave
game.
said. The public money is on the Chargers.
Right.
So, and that's part of the problem. As Dave explained earlier, and I thought it was a very poignant thing that Dave brought up. The book has to make the line so they can make money.
Right.
Correct.
So they got to make sure that the public is trying to bet one way. They keep angling to keep the money coming in.
So if the book had the Chargers say it like 4 or 5, all the money would be on the Chargers.
Right. So they need some of the money to go to the Eagles so
Right.
they can hedge their bet.
All right, let's look at last
Well, the
week.
house always wins.
Before we talk about the Chargers, let's look back to last week's game because Mike, the Eagles ran the ball for 236 yards.
Like they were the best team in football.
Right. And it was
But look who they were playing.
But so what? It was still one of the most convincing wins of any game this year.
But here's the problem with that. Mike, let me ask you a question.
Because they're NFL players.
If the Eagles would have lost to the Lions, you would have ripped them, right?
I would have. Yeah, you're
But
correct.
going into the game, you say you have to win that game, right?
Correct.
So how can we criticize them for winning a game they're supposed to win?
No, but and it's the way they won. 44-6. They thumped them.
Yeah, they
And
spanked them.
Look, they're 0-7, right? Going into the game. They did do an 0-17, what you're supposed to
We're
do.
supposed to do. Correct.
If they would have just won by say if they would have won like they won the Carolina game, would you be feeling good about anything? No.
No. By the way, the Carolina game was a perfect example of why what happened in the Lions game can happen every week. Because what was the commonality between the Carolina and the Lions game? The defense showed up.
Yep.
And I don't understand why he was doing this. And Billy, listen, you played, you understand, when your coach is telling you to be aggressive, you guys get excited, right?
Right.
They were telling those guys to not be aggressive for a couple weeks there, and they got totally wrecked on defense. Well, what happened in the Carolina and Detroit games? Gannon got aggressive, and Gannon said, let the Predators go get the prey.
Make things happen.
And you know
Well,
what?
and you know what? I'm glad.
That's a big deal to me.
Great segue, Josh, because leading up to last Sunday's game against the Lions, the Eagles had only blitzed 14% of the plays. Right? The third lowest in the league. Guess what? He unleashed them on Sunday.
Let them run.
He let them run. They blitzed several times on a third and fourth down, or second and third downs. They blitzed them. By the way, how about the Eric Wilson getting cut?
He was completely inactive for the Detroit game.
The first time. So
your
not-
two main linebackers now are Davion Taylor and TJ Edwards. One guy was undrafted.
Jernard Avery got the start.
Well, Jernard Avery
got the start last week.
He's not 100% a linebacker though. He's kind of like an edge rusher. He's like a hybrid.
They're trying to make him a linebacker.
Yeah, but he's a
So
hybrid.
was last weekend's win the hollow win? Is it hollow that they see? I don't think it's hollow because I saw people talking about it's a hollow win. Yes, I don't think it's hollow because the way they beat them.
I
in
correct.
convincing fashion. Because you know what? When the momentum builds in sports, Mike, I don't have to tell you. You got friends that are pros. They'll tell you. You get that ball rolling.
It's hard to stop.
It's hard to stop.
It's hard to
Same thing like when you're losing too, right? When
Right.
you're losing, then depression sets in and all kind of you doubt yourself.
Remember how bad everybody thought the Jets were going to be in the beginning of the year?
Right.
They got killed the first two games, and all of a sudden they win the third game. I forget who it was, but it was against the Titans. It was against a good team.
Right.
I think my point is it shows the NFL, no matter who you're playing, you got to be ready to play.
That's
'cause
100%. Yeah.
You got to be ready, especially when you're at home. I mean, to go to Detroit and all week, all you heard about in Detroit from friends in Detroit, they were telling me saying, hey, we're excited about this. We can't wait for the Eagles to come because we think this is our first win. And that's their mentality that they have. So for the Eagles to go there and do what they did and literally control the game from the start to the finish, that was a big plus.
Sirianni, let me ask you this question, Mike. Is Sirianni is he gonna stay with the run? Because I saw articles in the newspaper, which I'm sure you read too this week, where
Chargers are terrible against the run.
Right, they're charging, but the upper, Lurie and Roseman want the ball in the air. So if you're the head coach, if you're Sirianni, you know this.
You gotta be pulling someone to the side.
The recipe for victory
Yeah.
is running the ball. Are you going to care what your ball? I want to win the game. At the end of the day, it's my resume, it's my record that counts. Right. I want to win the game.
He's got to bring something to whoever's that person's attention, whether it's Jeffrey
Lurie
or whatever.
If he's winning, they're going to fire him because he's winning.
He's going to say, "You see what we did last week? I know the Chargers are different than Detroit, but we got to do the same game plan. We got to run the ball."
And Mike, you look at the balanced attack. Boston Scott, 12 attempts. Howard, 12 rushes. Gainwell, 13 rushes.
Right. And the other thing that keeps it by rushing again, you're keeping the other team off the field because the other team can score a lot of points.
Right.
This LA. So you keep rushing, the clock's not stopping, and you're eating up the clock as you're rushing.
Now, the Eagles, over the years, we talked about the linebackers. I've been very critical, have I not, Josh, of Singleton. Do you think my frustration with him specifically is warranted? Because remember a couple of weeks ago, you were like, well, I don't think you're being fair.
Well, listen, my position has always been that Singleton is a downhill linebacker.
See, I don't think he is.
And
he's not.
He's not a guy who's going to go out there and be some elite zone coverage guy. It's just not who he is.
But he's not even a great. It's these stats. This stat is not telling stat because he's leading the league team in tackles, but he's tackling 15 yards down the field.
Well, because he has to go chase him down because the scheme.
Thank God he's fast enough to chase him down.
That's
true. I think he's a substandard linebacker. I think he's a Canadian Football League linebacker. I don't think he's an NFL. I don't think he's started on too many teams in the NFL.
I think that we live in a world where we tend to remember only the good of the people that we remember in the past. We don't remember the bad. We don't remember all the times that Eagles defenses in the past were sloppy with their tackling. We haven't had the last legitimate linebacker this team had was Jeremiah Trotter. But guess what? Trotter couldn't function in today's world because he was only basically a run stopper. He couldn't cover anybody.
Right.
So it's not like the Eagles have had this great history in the last 20 years of linebackers. So to say that, Singleton is substandard, well, then everybody is substandard. Remember Tahani Jones? For goodness sake, I mean, come on.
No, I know, but Philadelphia's always been known for our defense, right? The gangrene, right?
The Berge years.
But no, the defense has always been Philadelphia's
pride. Sure, from Buddy Ryan to Ray Rhodes to Jim Johnson,
Jimmy Johnson,
even Jim Schwartz, who won a Super Bowl with him.
Right. We don't and to see our defense the way in the late. Now, maybe it's like a flower that needs to be watered, and maybe it's you got to water it. You got to get it.
Jason Kelsey said 1, 2, 3 roots. So. And listen, really quick, can I just say this? I'm not saying this now. This does not include the three of us in this room.
Okay.
But there are people out there who have a lot to say about this team, and they were very quiet this week. They were very quiet because they got shut up. And I wanted to find out if the Eagles win again tomorrow, which, by the way, I predicted on my show already, so that's out there in the universe. All right. I want to know if the people who have been hating on this team are going to keep that same quiet, or are they going to finally show up and earn it? I mean, own their criticism. Because you know what? Jason Kelsey made a very good point this week. He said, we're getting back to that underdog mentality that we had years ago. Kelsey said that. He was saying that, they feel like the world doesn't believe in them.
Well, why should they?
But
now.
But guess what? You know how it is, Bill. Sometimes you need the chip on your shoulder to get you moving.
That's right. All right.
You got to get a little man. You got to fight.
How about this, Mike? Mike Gill predicted last week. Mike Gill had the Lions. Scott Grayson picked the Eagles last week. 27-14.
By the way, Sal Palantonio also had the Eagles last week.
PT. I picked the Lions. Scooter picked the Eagles 27-21.
Is that the first one Scooter's gotten right all year?
I think so. Who else? What did you had the Lions last week?
I had the Lions last week.
So we were all.
You like the Lions last week?
Yeah.
Well, because
They're home.
my position was I couldn't trust Sirianni and Gannon
Right.
until I saw it.
So talk about. So you're talking about Trotter wouldn't be able to play in today's game because he couldn't cover.
Right.
So the Eagles go out and get Davian Taylor from Colorado in a late round draft, third or fourth pick,
late third
round, who's got speed, sideline to sideline,
freak athlete.
And by the way, he didn't play high school football, you know.
Well, he barely played high school football.
He barely played high school football.
Yeah, that story is amazing. I interviewed him a few years ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So here's the story. Basically, his mom's religious beliefs are when the sun goes down, it's the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he had a Bible study on Friday night.
You know, so the thing is that he played football a couple games because the sun hadn't set yet. Is basically what happened. But then he got to college, and the coaches were like, "We don't even know what position you play." It's like, "Well, let me play linebacker," and he goes on and becomes an NFL draft pick.
Right. And here's the thing. I mean, they play obviously on Saturdays, maybe Thursdays sometimes.
Sure.
But most of the Colorado Buffalo games are on Saturdays, so he could play.
Well, also because he was not at home with his mom. His mom gave him the blessing that you're not in my house. You don't have to follow my.
So that's
rules
why
so
perfect timing. I thought to myself, well, I just saw that John Bunting was inducted into the Rowan University Football Hall of Fame. He coached for a long time. He's a linebacker. I wanted to get him on. We got him on. So we'll talk to him.
Great job.
At the bottom of the hour to remind people that the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay's award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. Get player on their 18-hole championship golf course. Enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, I want to thank again Radio Ron Ralston and the staff there at the Great Bay Country Club for putting us up last week for the locker room golf outing. We had a lot of fun. I want to thank Radio Ron Ralston. Hey, My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on your house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869, or shoot Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. Hey, I want to remind people that the Locker Room Blitzes Markets want to discount your Eagles game day meal. During the Eagles season on game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the Locker Room. Get down to Blitzes all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitzes now has online ordering, blitzesmarkets.com, or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitzes is home of the Dill Pickle Hoagie. It's really a big deal. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more Eagles talk. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. It's week 9 of the 2021 season with the Eagles hosting the LA Chargers at the Link.
Pushes, shoves, into the end zone, Boston Scott.
Pre-game coverage begins tomorrow at 3 p.m. Maryland Mike call all the action starting at 4:05. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Beach. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Churches is adding Applewood smoked Texas cut bacon to our all-white meat chicken sandwich. Yep, these two are best flavors forever. Try our new Texas cut bacon chicken sandwiches today. Churches, bringing that down home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. John Bunting coming up at the bottom of the hour. He was at the he was in Philadelphia this week for the Philadelphia Sports Writers Hall of Fame. Bill Bradley, remember? Do you remember Bill Bradley, number 28?
Absolutely,
safety?
absolutely.
So you just said you just made a comment here at the break that you think the Eagles are going to win 4 more games and get the 7 wins.
Yeah,
one more, and then they can squeak out one more win. I
yeah,
predicted 8 and 9.
Do you upset someone, you're going to be right there with 8 wins.
Let's talk offense, Mike, because Jalen Hurts has been. I don't know if it's fair to say that he's not the guy yet. Where do you stand on this?
It's too early.
Too early, right?
Yeah, way too early. The end of the season, we can establish that one way or the other.
He only had 14 attempts last game
because we ran the ball.
I know, but I mean,
if you're running the ball, you don't stop.
You still need to have more of a balance, though. I mean, I don't want to look. I've been complaining, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. So I'm very happy that they ran the ball, but.
I think what happens is when your linemen come off the field and they said they were doing this, they were going to the coaches saying, we're controlling the line here.
Right.
Why stop? And I think that's all they had, and they just kept going.
See, fans can sit in the stands and look, but when the players know that you're punching the other, you're physically beating the other team, they can see it. Well, obviously, they know what's going on, but that does something to the defense psychologically, right? You get your butt whacked, like you're getting blown off the ball. They control the line of scrimmage
and the time. I mean, everything. You control everything when you control the line. You're running the ball, and you're keeping the other team off the field.
The Eagles. Let's see what was the time of possession, dude. Let me see if I can find out the time of possession. Well, it wasn't that big of a disparity. It was 35 minutes to 25 minutes. 10 minutes. That's pretty. I guess that's big. Yeah. Is that 10 minutes big in the NFL?
10 minutes is.
Yeah, that's big. 44-6. Now, I mean, his passer rating was 86. He's still. I like Jalen Hurts.
I do too.
I really do.
Oh, I have nothing against Jalen Hurts.
I'm not. Yeah.
And I look at him as still, even though he played a couple games last year, to me,
he's still a rookie.
He's still a rookie. This is his rookie. Well, why is he different than the other rookies that are playing this year for the first time that are getting a pass? Why isn't he getting a pass? Just because he played in 3-4 games last year?
I saw there's a stat like the quarterback. There's like 6 or 7 quarterbacks in the top 15 in rushing this year.
Yeah,
that's unheard of.
But that's how the game's changed.
That's how the game's changed. But you still don't want to see your quarterback running all over the place.
No.
You want to have the ability to scramble out of trouble.
Yeah, because eventually you'll get hit.
What about his arm strength, Mike? People are like critical of his arm strength. I think he can make the throws. I mean, I've seen him overthrow people. I think I see him throw Donovan McNabb. For as great as an athlete as he was, look what he used to do. Yeah. Throw the ball in the dirt, throw the ball behind people. He almost got people killed coming across the middle.
That's true. And the receivers didn't like that.
No.
I mean, they used to bitch about that all the time. I think Jalen, again, I think we judge him at the end of the year, and I think he'll come out fine.
There's no quarterbacks in the draft right now. Is there anybody that's like anybody you say right now, Mike? You go, I need this guy. We got to get them. We have to get him for our quarterback.
This is the first year that I can remember that we're eight games in college
where we don't know who's.
We're not saying, this guy's definitely number one.
I saw him play a couple weeks ago. He seems like he's got I can't remember.
I mean, there's a couple that they like to get from Alabama just because it's Alabama,
right?
And but no one is blowing anybody away. And I wouldn't be thinking, we all of our draft choices, we're going to lock them all and we're going to move up to number 1 or 2 if we can and get a quarterback. I don't know if that quarterback's there. So
you know what the Cowboys have done the last 3 years? They've taken consecutive high draft picks on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. And look at them now.
Let's build our defense up.
Yeah, look.
That's where we're
it was
struggling.
Always Dallas Cowboys could score points, but they were going to give up points. That was now this year complete. Now they still had their offense, but now look at the defense they're doing. When they make a mistake on offense, the defense is helping them out. It was never like that with Dallas.
Right, and the way right before the Eagles did a move on Tuesday, the trade deadline. They picked up Kyrie Vincent Jr. For a 6th-round pick, a defensive back. They got Zach McPherson. They got Mac McCain III, and now Tay Gowan they got a couple weeks back. They're loading up on cornerbacks. Competition is good, right? Sirianni, what's his mantra?
Yeah.
Competition.
He wants everything's a game to him, and you got to win the game. Everything's a game.
This is no rock, paper, scissors. This is the NFL now.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
He caught hell for that. Yeah.
He's making these. Sirianni's funny, man.
Well, he comes off sometimes as a college
quarterback
coach.
Pickett from Pitt. That's what I was talking about. I like this kid, but is he somebody that you're going to go? Ooh, I'm going to get him in the first round.
Yeah, no.
He's
He's a late
a
second,
big kid.
third,
The guy's
third
got
round.
size. Yeah. He's got some good arm strength.
Him too. The guy from North Carolina.
Right. So I mean,
but
so let's load up.
But
on
these
defense.
guys are not coming in next year and being starters in the NFL.
Right.
They're coming in as backup. They're coming in as like Missouri when he came out of Penn State. He was a good quarterback. Played him some big games, but he went to Baltimore and he's a backup.
I'm looking at some stats on Devontae Smith has been targeted just 13 times in the red zone. But there's only 4 players in franchise history that has produced more receiving yards in the first 8 games of their career for the Eagles, and 2 of them were tight ends. So, I mean, he's on pace to finish 16 games with 66 catches for 842 yards, they're saying. Why aren't they using him more? Why are we not?
I think they are, but when you're the number 1 receiver and after number 1, it really drops.
Well, Quez Watkins is playing well.
Yeah, but I think the teams are putting their best CB on him, and they're doing a good job of just shutting him down.
Scotty McKay made this observation that they'll hit a receiver like 1 time or 2 times, and they get away from it. Like Devontae Smith, I think has been underused so far. I mean, he should have 2 more touchdowns than he does, right? He stepped out of bounds.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm ecstatic about the kid. It just seems like they could incorporate him a little bit more in the offense.
I love him, and hopefully I think they'll put some more weight on him because I think he needs a better push off the line to get open. But his speed is unbelievable.
All right, the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour, 58-minute round. You can play on that magnificent championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for me. We got Ryan Owens is down there. They got a great staff. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pledgey at Maserati, the mainline, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with former Eagles linebacker John Bunting. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Here's Tyrese Maxey on the drive, underhand scoop, he got it.
The Sixers are in Chicago to face the Bulls.
Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again and again. Calling again and again.
Hi, this is John Pignon, Camden County Commissioner, reminding everyone to get your COVID-19 vaccine shot to protect yourself and your neighbors. I got my shot to protect myself and those around me because the fight against COVID-19 is about protecting your entire community. For updated information on COVID-19's vaccination efforts, visit CamdenCounty.com. We're all in this together. Let's play our part to stay safe and healthy this summer.
Hi, I'm Daniel Baldwin, and I'd like you to do something for me right now. That's right, right now. I want you to go to bioblasting.com. That's BIOBLASTING.com. Right now. Just go to bioblasting.com or call them at 833-BIO-BLAST. Use promo code ESPN to get 20% off your order. Bioblasting, located in Egg Harbor Township. People, pet, and planet friendly.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at Home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at Home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Black Friday starts now at JCPenney. And this Friday through Sunday, shop early and save with thousands of new Black Friday deals while they last. Sparkle everyone's stocking with up to 75% off all fine jewelry. Plus, stock up on Home Expressions bath towels, now only $2.99 each. These deals and many more end Sunday. Happy Black Friday, JCPenney. Offers valid on select items 11/5 to 11/7. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Happy holidays don't just happen on their own. You make them happen with a little help from new appliances at the Home Depot. Because warm wishes won't roast that turkey. You'll want a new convection oven for that. An air fryer will help make the season light and delicious. And while you're at it, consider a new LG or Samsung fridge that's big enough to hold all kinds of Christmas cheer. Make the holidays yours with the season's best savings on top appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN. You know, Mike, we were talking about the linebacking core of the Philadelphia Eagles, so I thought I'd go to somebody that knows a thing or two about linebackers.
I think he knows a lot.
He's had a great career. He's a newly inducted member of the Rowan University Football Hall of Fame.
Good for him.
Let's go to the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room former Eagles linebacker John Bunting. Good morning, John.
Hey, it's good to be with you fellas. How's it going?
All right. I know you were in town for Bill Bradley's induction into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. I remember number 28.
I tell you what, he's a piece of work. The most amazing acceptance speech I've ever seen. He played his harmonica about half the time. He never talked about football at all, except to say, not once, but twice, Dick Vermeil traded me to Minnesota.
I'll never forget it.
He's always been a horse of a different color and a great friend. I could not miss this event, so I flew up here from our winter home in Naples and met my son and a number of others, Kevin Riley included. Frank LeMaster was there. Dick Vermeil was just chuckling during the whole thing. And it was another linebacker inducted into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, one Seth Joyner,
he deserves
who I think belongs in the NFL Sports Hall of Fame.
I'll tell you what, I if there's one guy that when I watch that post game live, I just love his tenacity. I agree with everything he says almost. He has that grit, you know, he has that linebacker
scariness.
That scariness. Like, you look at him, he means business.
Yeah.
He has a little intensity. To know that he has 54 sacks and like 24 interceptions. Excuse me, I'm in the airport right now.
That's flying
back today, so you get a little background noise. But he belongs in the NFL Hall of Fame. He really does. And playing Buddy Ryan's defense as a linebacker, which asked those players to do a lot of different things, including rushing the passer, getting back into coverage. He was a complete player. I mean, he was a walk-on player at Texas El Paso.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's something. Hey, John, I wanted to get you on today because I was talking to one of your former players. I'm teaching with him at Collingswood High School, Matt Presido, and he told me, he said that you got inducted into the Rowan University Football Hall of Fame. We wanted to get you on to congratulate you for that. And I told Matt, I said, geez, I gotta get John Bunting on my show.
Well, I appreciate that. Matt was a really good player, great kid, loves football, and that's an important part about becoming a player. Do you really like the game? Do you love the game? If you do, then you have a chance. If you don't, and you're just playing because mom and dad want you to, or because you want to impress some kind of girlfriend or something, you're playing for the wrong reasons. But it's the greatest game there is. You know, 11 people out there on offense, 11 out on defense, 11 on special teams, and they all got to be coordinated, play and execute and play with some intensity. You know?
Yeah, I got to agree. Now, looking at your career, obviously after your playing days, you had an extensive career coaching. You ended up coaching, like I said, at Glassboro State, which is now Rowan. You coached in the Chiefs, and then of course you're the head coach in North Carolina. You were the Rams and the Saints, and then head coach in North Carolina. John, we're looking at the Eagles linebackers. You're a coach. We're looking at the Eagles linebackers, and they just don't seem to be getting the job done.
You're not making plays.
No.
Well, that's what you have to do. You know, there are bend but don't break defenses. We had kind of one of those with Marion Campbell. We didn't give up many yards. We didn't give up many touchdowns. We were kind of a bend but don't break, but we led the NFL in some stats, rushing yardage and interceptions and things like that. But, a defense has to complement the offense. It's hard sometimes to see people playing defense in the NFL these days. There's a lot of high-scoring games. But in order to be a great defense, you have to have the guys up front. And we used to think that me and Berge and Jerry Robinson, Frank LeMaster, we were the studs on the defense. It's all started up front with Carl Hairston and Dennis Bigfoot Harrison and Kenny Clark, and Charlie Johnson. These guys were just great players, and they paved the way for our linebackers to make plays.
Right.
It's in going back to Seth Joyner, Buddy had that different style of defense that was very hard to prepare for, and but because they did so many things with it, and they were very aggressive, they made a lot of plays. Right now, I've seen some Eagle games. I have not seen them all, and I have not watched them totally and try to analyze what the linebackers are doing, but it still pretty much starts up front. And I think the Eagles at times play very well up front, and the linebackers should be making plays.
You got to control the line. I mean, if you're going to control the line,
no doubt.
And when you do control the line, like you said, it makes everything easier. It makes the linebackers easier. It makes the CBs easier. With tomorrow's game, but coming off last week's big win against Detroit, and now tomorrow playing LA, there's a lot of talk going on about, can we go to the next level and get 2 wins in a row kind of thing. I know you said you don't watch a whole lot of the Eagles, but there's a lot of talk about if we can get through this game, then the schedule coming up, we're starting to get into our division.
Yeah.
And the division teams we know. So we're really looking as a fan, we're looking, can we get by tomorrow with LA and try to move forward with the schedule? What do you think?
Well, there's a huge thing about getting some momentum. Now, we know Detroit's not very good. And, you want to beat the teams that you are better than. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But to get a second victory, I remember calling Dick Vermeil in 1978. We'd lost the first 2 games, and I got a message to him, and he called me back in the afternoon on my off day, and I said, Coach, we just need to win 3 games in a row. We will be on the fly after that. And he goes, I'm trying to win 1. We had lost the first 2 in 78, and it's hard. It's hard to win any game in the NFL, but to get a game tomorrow, the Eagles are going to play some form of probably nickel coverage because they have a great passing game. They have a great passer. And I probably wouldn't even get on the field these days as a linebacker because you got to have much more speed and much more athleticism than I possess. But the one thing that I did have, and what linebackers have to have, is eyesight.
Right.
They've got to be able to train their eyes to look at the right things. With today's personnel groupings, 11 personnel, 3 wides and 1 tight end, 1 back, no tight end, 4 wides and 1 back. You've got to be able to substitute. You've got to be able to get the right players on the field to defend. And you've got to be able to know formations, know what they do best out of those formations, and know what they're doing new that particular day. So there's a lot to think about. And once again, I coached a Hall of Fame linebacker out in Kansas City, Derek Thomas.
Yeah.
He was a great player, not a real good linebacker because he had the worst eyes. His eyes would wander all around. You got to fix your eyes and look at the right things so you can make plays. Because that, the eyes go right to the brain and they tell you where to go.
And of course, the imprint that's left a mark and arm, indelible mark and arm braces, like Singletary's eyes, or like Junior Seau, or even Dick Butkus or Ray Nitschke.
They always zero in on the eyes.
Jack Lambert. I mean, their eyes were always fixed, like they were like deer in the headlights.
When I was at North Carolina playing, but they feared me because of my eyes. And same thing in the Eagles. When I started calling signals, they knew. And I loved that responsibility, and so did Dick Vermeil and Marion Campbell. They knew that I wasn't going to make a mistake. I was going to execute the defense that was called from the sideline and make adjustments as I saw fit relative to formations and motions and that kind of stuff. So, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much. And there was never a question about what was called because I was loud and I had eyes. And we wanted to win. We got to the point where we had so much confidence that we felt like we would stop anybody. We could win any game we played. And the Eagles have an opportunity here to win a second game. Who will be the next game after that? Can you tell me?
It's the Broncos at Denver.
At Denver, and that's a winnable.
Well,
game.
that's a game they could win too.
Yeah.
So this is a huge game for them tomorrow. I will be watching. That's for sure.
We're talking with former Eagles linebacker and newest member for the Rowan University Football Hall of Fame, John Bunting. And John, you talk about Bill Bradley being walks the beat of a different drummers. He played with some wild guys. Did he play with Tim Rosevich and they had Mel Tom and Ron Porter? I remember those guys. They were nuts.
Yeah, I was a rookie in '72, and Rosevich and Bradley were holding out, which that was kind of unheard of back in the day. And there were news reports, every week. Sometimes they were on television down at the shore. They were down there goofing
They were
around
spotted.
having a good time, and we're out there suffering on the field. It was funny. And then they traded Rosevich to San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, and Bradley was in camp the next day. What was good about that
John,
was they moved Zabel from outside to the inside, which allowed me to move up a notch because I was a 10th round pick. I think I was number 5 or number 6 on the depth chart when I first arrived.
John, didn't Tim Rosevich light himself on fire? I remember a Sports Illustrated or something. He lit himself on fire.
Yeah, he was a glass eater, and he supposedly drank a quart of motor oil at one point, and supposedly, he was a different kind of guy.
He was different. That's the key word. He was different.
Talk about him. Yeah,
Well, John, listen, I know you're in transit, and I know you came up from Philadelphia for the event. You're in transit. I just wanted to reach out to you. We want to congratulate you. You had a really great career. Even after your playing days as a coach, and you know a thing or two about linebackers, and we really appreciate you taking time to spend with us today. Once again, congratulations on the new honor.
Well, I thank you. We won a bunch of games in Kansas City with Marty, and won a Super Bowl with Dick Vermeil in St. Louis. I had a bunch of great wins at North Carolina, beating number 4 Miami when they were undefeated, beat Florida State for the first time. But my most favorite time coaching was coaching at Glassboro State, now Rowan University.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, John. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Let's go Eagles.
Let's go Eagles.
Let's go Eagles. I'll be watching. Thanks,
All
guys.
right, there he is, John Bunting on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. Mike, I just love John
That
Bunting,
was
man.
nice. That was nice.
John Bunting, man.
And just to hear, I love hearing stories that you would never read about.
Right.
That was the best part of the whole. Just
And for him
hearing
to
some
say
things.
that his fondest memories are,
Yeah.
I mean, he had an illustrious career
Yeah.
coaching
Oh, yeah.
all over the place.
Look at all the big wins he said. North Carolina, not just the pros, but beating Florida State when they were at their prime, beating Miami when they're prime. But what's he go back to? Glassboro State.
And ready for this? Like, you know how all those, like, from Bunting, Berge, all the guys that played for Dick Vermeil, Ken Dunnick, all they have nothing but great things to say about their coach. And I work with Matt Presida, and he talked about John Bunting like John Bunting talks about Dick Vermeil.
Beautiful.
Can I just jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Bunting said something, and I think it might get overlooked, that a lot of other guys who have come on the show, you mentioned Bill Berge. Bill, you've had a lot of guys who played for Vermeil on the show. They all have nothing but good things to say about Vermeil. And people forget because, again, remember I told you guys earlier that, with time, we only remember the good, not the bad.
Right.
When Dick Vermeil got hired, he was ripped by the media.
Yeah. Who is he?
Who is this guy? Who is this young guy? What is this California
crying.
guy know
He's
about
crying
football?
all the time. Right. Remember
he's
all that?
crying
He's
all
crying.
the time. He's too young. And Vermeil went on to be a Hall of Fame coach. And it all started in Philadelphia. And it was all because all those players bought in to what he was selling.
But the one ingredient that Dick Vermeil has is he loved his players, and they felt that love,
right.
And they'd run through a wall for him.
They bought into him.
Well, and they bought into it, but I think it was more the personal connection.
That's what I was going to say.
Right, Mike? That he cared about.
Like Josh said,
guys.
he was a Hall of Fame, coach. He was a Hall of Fame player.
He was a Hall of Fame person.
Yeah,
right.
Person,
Exactly.
and that comes first.
That's great stuff. All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour, 58-minute round. They got a great staff. The food is unbelievable. The course is always in magnificent shape. And if you're looking for a place to be a member, a country club to be a member of, the Great Bay Country Club is your club. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Scott Dunn's down there, Ryan Owens, Kevin Kelly, and, of course, Radio Ron Ralston do a great job. Hey, the locker room in Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal. During the Eagles season on game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we come back, we'll get Mike's prediction, Josh's prediction for the Eagles game tomorrow. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN.
Listen this Saturday to Notre Dame football on 97.3 ESPN.
Hi, Notre Dame fans. This is Paul Burmeister. Join me, Super Bowl 50 champion Ryan Harris, and host Tony Simeone this Saturday as the Irish host Navy at Notre Dame Stadium. Our coverage begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern in the 94th meeting between these two legendary rivals. Tune in right here on your home for Notre Dame football.
It's Notre Dame football on 97.3 ESPN.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with Top Tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19.
And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Hey team, we landed the contract!
Kaya's web design studio just landed the gig of a lifetime.
It starts next week.
Their staff needs to double before the dream deal becomes a nightmare.
We need front end, back end, a project manager.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim. We got a few minutes to go. Josh, you on after this?
Yes, I am. I got 2 hours today.
You got 2 hours today?
You guys full 2 hours.
How about you?
Notre Dame doesn't come on until 2:30.
I've been to a Notre Dame Navy game. Very exciting.
I'm sure you've been to Notre Dame.
I've been to a lot of games. All right, it's that time of the day, Mike. Time of the show, I should say.
It's also the time of the day.
I want to get your prediction for Sunday's game. Give us a little synopsis of what you think.
Well, I
will
had
transpire tomorrow at 4:25, I believe.
I actually had this written down all morning.
4:05, by the way.
The score, but I've been just 15 minutes ago when I heard Josh, who I respect immensely, when he just said who he thought was going to win tomorrow really is in my head. But I'm going to go with my original score and my original what I think. You got to go with
your first thing.
Yeah, I have. This may be surprising, but I have the Eagles losing tomorrow, 41-27.
41-27. So you have the Chargers. So it's a 1-point spread, Mike.
I know, and I think it's wrong.
All right.
I think it's wrong.
All right, Josh, give us a little bit about what you think, because you said it's already out there. I'm going to hold off mine till tomorrow, the PT.
Yeah, so basically for me, it comes down to this. Look, I feel like it gets overlooked that the Eagles have not won a home game this year.
Right.
They won all their games on the road. The Chargers are traveling from the West Coast to East Coast. I know it's 4:00, but to me, that's not the important thing here. I think Sirianni and the Eagles want to win a game in front of the fans. They want to give the fans something. You listen to players this week, listen to coaches this week. You know, Sirianni's wearing every team in the city's colors this week. You know, I mean, the guy's got more clothes in his wardrobe than anybody I've ever seen.
He's got more clothes than Dave Sharapan.
Oh, definitely more than Dave. It's ridiculous. But seriously, I think the Eagles win because what they did to the Lions last week can be replicated. The concern I have is that the Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert, he's top 10 in the NFL in passing touchdowns and passing yards per game. But getting Anthony Harris back is huge. He's one of the best cover safeties in the NFL. So I have Eagles 30-24.
30-24. Of course, tomorrow I'll be back at it right here on 97.3 ESPN from 10 a.m. to 12 noon with the PT. Pete Thompson's going to gloat because he beat me in golf, but we're going to break it down. We'll have Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, sports anchor. Of course, you can read Scott's articles on 97.3ESPN.com. Catch him every Monday with Mike Gill and the Sports Bash for Grayson's Grades, and we'll take care of all that. Of course, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, tomorrow joins us and get our fantasy picks. How you doing in your fantasy league there, Josh?
Well, I'm just above 500, I think, in both leagues.
Yeah, I'm 2-6. I think I'm 2-5 or.
It's nice of you to ask, Bill. You're the only one who seems to care about our fantasy league at this point. So
no, I think PT's Mr. Incredible.
Well, PT's one of the best records, but
I think he's 7-1, isn't he?
Well, he never talks about it though.
No,
he keeps it to himself.
He does,
and he wins in spite of the fact that he forgets to change his team. I looked at my roster the other day on Thursday night, right before the games. I had like 6 guys who want to buy. Thank God I looked at it.
Yeah, PT 1 week. I think he had the defense and a kicker on a bye week.
And he still won.
And he still won by like 20.
I just called luck. I got none of that.
I think we really got to hope on Sunday when we're watching this game that we see a lot of running the ball. We got to use the clock.
I think if the Eagles could go even, if they can have a balanced attack, maybe even more runs than passes, right?
Yeah.
If the Chargers
got to keep the Chargers off the field.
Keep them off the field. Hi, Mike. What do you think?
That was a
First,
pleasure.
yeah,
I love
I mean, I can't believe 2 hours is
Yeah,
up.
it flies. It does fly. It's quick. And,
I had a good time
thanks.
with you.
Yeah,
And we'll do it again.
I'd love to.
We'll schedule you in. Josh Henning, as always, thank you so much. Stay tuned for
Big help, Josh. Thank
the
you.
Sports Bash with Josh Henning coming up next. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. I'll be back at it tomorrow with the PT for the unofficial Eagles pregame show right here on 97.3 ESPN. Stay tuned for Josh Henning and Sports Bash Saturday. And I'll see you tomorrow with the PT. Have a great Saturday night, everybody.